sure that you guys can hear me and let me know where you are watching from. It is a warm day here in New York City, but beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful day here in New York City. I'll give you guys a moment. Okay. Okay, there we go. Hey, y'all. Give people a moment. And you guys let me know if you want me to drop the call-in link for you guys to call in, because I know you guys probably have strong opinions on this Shannon Sharpe situation, because it's continuing to get even spicier. Excuse me. Yes, I am, Spencer. All right, let me scroll down. Hey everyone, where's everyone watching from? Can you guys hear me? I didn't hear anyone say that they can hear me. Can you hear me? Because I have the mic on today. So I just want to make sure that I can be heard. I'm not stacking on anything. I'm having I have gum in my mouth. Yes, you can. Thank you so much, Jan. Atlanta's in the building, Connecticut's in the building, Orlando, Florida's in the building. Thank you, Angel. The UK is in the building. London, Austin, New Jersey, Connecticut, Dallas. Angelique, thank you so much. Thank you, Leisha. Las Vegas, Bahamas, Kentucky, Detroit, South Africa, Mississippi, Chicago, Connecticut, Los Angeles, France. France is in the building. San Diego, Colorado, Raleigh. Is it Riley or Raleigh? Riley, right? Montreal, Charlotte, North Carolina. Thank you, Patricia. France. Excuse me. I got a little tickle in my throat for a second there. All right, so I want to talk about Shannon Sharpe. But before we get to Shannon Sharpe, Jan, literally, you can check my skincare routine here on my YouTube channel or my TikTok. I talk a lot about it. Okay. All right, it's the pollen. I was fine up until this very second. I'm in the warm studio. I don't have my air conditioning on in the studio right now. I really don't love air conditioning. And also it's very loud, so I didn't want to turn it on. I was going to do it out in the living room, but I said, no, I'll do it in the studio. We have better lighting in here. All right, so before we get to the Shannon Sharpe of it all, I do want to make mention, because earlier we were live critiquing Portia's YouTube channel and Nene's YouTube channel, and I did get a chance on my way back from an appointment to watch Nene's new interview with Pinky Cole from Slutty Vegan. First of all, her story is so inspirational. If you haven't seen the interview, Nene, for someone that had a lot to say and excuses for how your interview with Latasha was, it seemed like you made some corrections. Okay, it looks like you made some corrections in this particular interview, right, Antoinette? So I felt like you took the notes and you went with it instead of the excuses you made in your last video. I thought it was a good interview, but sometimes, here's the thing too, as someone that's interviewed hundreds of people, sometimes you as an interviewer are better because your guest is really good too. So I think the interview was also good because Pinky is a talker, and that always helps as well. I also liked her interview with Rocky as well. So if you missed it, head on over to Nene Leakes' YouTube channel if you want to get a little inspiration. Pinky was a really good interview. Rocky was a really good interview. I saw Rocky go viral when I think it was the School of Hard Knocks that caught up with her randomly on the street, and they were talking about, like, you know, when did you make your first million kind of thing. So be sure to check that out. See, I can give credit when credit is due. Okay, she took the notes and she ran with it. Good for you. If you guys missed my critique and breakdown of Portia and Nene's YouTubes this week, be sure to check that out. We were live earlier talking about that. Now I want to talk about Shannon Sharpe, because you're lucky I didn't put the robe on. I would almost put the robe on, but if I put the robe on, I would have passed. I don't want to turn on my air conditioning yet. I don't want to turn it on just yet. Because first of all, this particular one, I got to figure something out. It's very loud. So I really don't want to put it on. All right. But I almost put my robe on. So we can pretend this is my robe. All right. We can pretend this is my robe. You guys will let me know if you want an opportunity to call in and share your thoughts on the Shannon Sharpe situation, because I see a lot of people online having debates on this situation. So this situation, if you missed our first two videos reporting on this lawsuit, Shannon Sharpe is being sued by a former, I'm going to say girlfriend in quotes, because I don't know if this was a girlfriend-boyfriend situation. We found out a lot more, as you know, in Shannon Sharpe's statement where he released text messages from this woman, Gabriella Zuniga. They doxed her name on social media. We found out a lot more since then in regards to him alleged, not only have to say allegedly, didn't his attorney confirm this? Confirmed that they offered her $10 million. Girl, you should have ran with that $10 million. I'm sorry. But okay, it's fine. So just a reminder. So Shannon Sharpe apparently met this woman who's suing him for $50 million. Julie said I would have took the $10 million. But now she could probably get more. So stupid us. Okay. Apparently he met this woman, and I use that loosely, meaning that she's barely a woman, because she met him when she was 19 and he was 50-something years old. Exactly. Match and Dine says the audio was disturbing. Well, there's more audio that's come out. So I'm going to play that in a second. So there's more audio that's come out. But before we get to that, I just want to kind of shout out to our friends over at the Neighborhood Talk, because you know what we do here. We always cite our sources. Okay. Noda Queen says 10 million gives guilty of something. Not going to lie. There's a couple of things that I want to talk about, and that's part of the reason why I went live. I'm not going to stay live for too long because I got to get out of here. I got to meditate at 6 o'clock. I got priorities. Okay. So let me just play for you. So yesterday I did a video, and I don't want to rehash what we did yesterday because Shannon Sharpe did release a video statement on his Instagram yesterday, and he accused Tony Busby of targeting black men, which is very in line because we saw what happened recently with Jay-Z. And he mentions Jay-Z in his video. I'm not going to play that audio for you again. If you saw my last video, or if you need to see that, I posted in my last video along with the first audio. So after I did that video, more information came out. Okay. Before that, I want to remind you, because that's the thing about doing this work. When you do this work, people will start pulling up things that you said in old interviews. And one of the things that was said, not by him, but by one of his interviewees, Monique, she said, you need to stop dating these young girls. Hold on.
Yo, girl, you don't need no 36-year-old girl.
Hold on.
My family.
I know, this is your auntie talking to you. Take your ass and get your old bitch out there.
She said, take your old A. Okay.
You're old. You're trying to hang out with these young bitches, and you know you can't do it, Shannon. You just can't do it. No, 22.
And although Monique has a delivery of being very funny, I don't feel like she was joking. Anyone else? I don't feel like she was joking. I think she was dead serious. She just has a delivery of a comedian.
No 26-year-old girl. You don't need no 36-year-old girl.
I wonder what she would say hearing that he was dating a 19-year-old girl.
This is your auntie talking to you. Take your ass and get your old bitch out there that can love you old. You're trying to hang out with these young bitches, and you know you can't do it, Shannon.
But that's the thing, too. And I'm not saying that people can't date younger. There are women now also dating younger, and I don't judge them either, even though people try to judge women a lot harsher than they do men dating younger women. But what I've noticed is when people date that young, there's such a huge age gap. There's a reason. You don't lack the maturity to date a woman your own age or older. You are also trying to control that individual. I don't even just put it in male, female. You're trying to control that individual because for whatever reason. Okay. So that's what Monique said way back when to Shannon Sharpe. Stop dating these young girls. Date your age. Okay? Then after that came out, we found out, shout out to the friends over at the Neighborhood Talk, that Shannon Sharpe offered S.A. Accuser, Gabriella Zuniga, they doxed her already, the name is out there. And we found out that she's an OnlyFans model. Okay. Mind you, when Shannon released that video yesterday addressing this, he put it out there. He put her name out there. He also put out there almost like he was shaming her for being an OF model. Understand, he said that for a reason. He didn't just say that to say that. He said that for a reason, almost to shame her for it. Sir. So the Neighborhood Talk says the details continue to spill out as the story of Shannon Sharpe and his accuser continues. We now know that she was offered a settlement and it wasn't a small one. According to TMZ, Lanny Davis, Sharpe's attorney, revealed that the star actually offered his accuser at least. His own attorney is revealing this. Y'all need to shut up. At least $10 million before she went public with her case. He offered her $10 million before she went public with her case. Apparently, the two went to mediation within the last month and the proposal was made. Shannon's attorney says that they were surprised that Jane Doe walked away from the offer and decided to file the lawsuit with, quote, without warning. Davis claims that Jane Doe seemed to be considering the offers initially. Jane Doe is accusing Shannon of graping her in the late 2024 and SAing her in January of 2025. She since released audio clips which were followed by statements from Shannon denying the acts. In a meeting with press on Tuesday, Davis addressed the audio that was released, stating that Shannon spoke in the heat of the moment. Also, they're not even denying that this was like role play. And did not literally mean the words. He also denied all of Jane Doe's other claims and said that they'll soon be filing a counterclaim against her. They're also awaiting a video of Shannon and his accuser to go public. Because remember, Shannon said that in his video yesterday, that he's now believing that Tony Busby is going to release an S tape between Shannon and this woman. This is not, so they offered her at least $10 million before she decided to go public. I wouldn't be surprised if her attorney says, if they're offering you $10 million, we can get you $50 million. Probably not even that. Probably we can get you $20 million. What? Well, everyone's having a debate. Well, Shannon, you put yourself in this position. You put yourself in this position. Some of y'all are saying because of her color. Some of y'all are saying because of her age. I'm just going to say her age. Okay? Exactly. Look. Madge says, Black women, this is not our fight. I've seen that comment a lot too. This is not our fight. Can I fall in line because I'm gay? Can I fall in line? This is not our fight. Okay. That's not it. That's not it in regards to this story, because more has played out. This is why I'm going live talking about this. In regards to the Shannon Sharpe of it all, for those that are just joining us. Not only that happened yesterday, photos of the young woman who was 19 when she met Shannon Sharpe. And please understand, these photos of her being revealed, the doxing of her being revealed in Shannon's statement was intentional. Now her photos are being released. I'm sure is also intentional. All of these things are it doesn't make Shannon look better by doxing her in his statement, by referring to her as just an OnlyFans model. It shows you his mentality. Okay? And when you look at these photos of her, she looks younger than 19. I know she isn't. I mean, now she's probably 20, 21. But she looks even younger in these photos of her.
To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open. Right?
A shakedown where he offered her this is from his own attorney. I'm not saying allegedly. This was from his own attorney. He offered her not $10,000, not $100,000. He offered her $10 million. $10 million.
And defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe.
And now he wants to use the whole black men part of this and the Jay-Z part of it because it worked out for Jay-Z. But Jay-Z did not offer, allegedly, he didn't offer this woman any money in regards to settling. There were conversations, but he didn't offer her anything. He stood 10 toes down that he was not paying Tony Busby or this person anything, and he won. Kay, thank you so much for the super chat. Kay says, I'm certain now that Shannon's team planted that $100 million podcast deal story in anticipation of this lawsuit. Kay, that is such an important detail. I mean, part of me wouldn't be shocked that the $100 million podcast deal is real. I'm not sure if you're saying it's real or not real, but putting this out there when this happened, I do believe that this could have been strategic. I didn't think about that. The fact that we knew about that wouldn't shock me that they put that out there to sort of counteract, oh, they're coming after him because of this $100 million deal. Well, because remember, they're saying there have been conversations in the last month with this woman. Wow.
I'm going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I will myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate.
So this woman pretty much has been laying the groundwork for setting him up. I mean, is it really a setup if you guys have had a 2-year relationship? I don't think so. Unless I don't know if it's a relationship. I don't know what this was.
Media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on Only.
Hold on. There we go. Hold on.
Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans. To my family.
Okay. All right. So they released those photos of, and for those that want to see them, if you just want, you're doing your research, that's available on our friends over at the Neighborhood Talk. But okay, more information. The Neighborhood Talk reports, yikes, additional texts reveal OF model Gabby confronted Shannon Sharpe over unprotected, the other whole sex on the day of an alleged grape. They write this. They said, according to TMZ Sports, additional texts between Shannon Sharpe and OnlyFans model Gabby have been revealed, and they're spicy. Messages show Gabby confronting Sharpe after being upset because he allegedly didn't use a condom before engaging in non-consensual sex. There we go. With her. In a quote, I cried when you left because I begged you to put on a condom and not put it up my but you didn't listen, she went on to say. No means no, Shannon. She said this in a text message. Shannon can't be that bright. She's saying this in a text message for a reason. Even the conversations that they were having and how she was responding. Like, he can't be that bright at all. But, I mean, okay, we'll leave that alone. Dates from the messages show that this all allegedly went down on January 2nd, the day she accused Sharpe of graping her. Gabby claims that she didn't know how to process what had just gone down, and in response, Sharpe asked if he could call her. It's unclear if the call ever took place. In other texts, you can see Gabby claiming that she wanted to be abused and get in some BDSM action. Child, this is too much, they say. And that's the other aspect, because in the statement that Shannon Sharpe's attorney released when this all was revealed about the $50 million lawsuit, they claimed that what she was trying to put out there was the nature of the relationship. They did role playing. They talked like this in text messages. In their statement, they included text from her where she's talking about put a big black baby in me. That already would turn me off, but we know some of y'all, not y'all, but some of these folks are into people talking to them like that. I'd be like, that sounds racist, but okay. Fine. Okay, but we have more. We have more. Hold on, let me find the other part of the story. Okay, the Breakfast Club also talked about this morning, and they were giving advice to Shannon Sharpe in regards to how he's been handling the situation. So I wanted to play that as well. This, again, for the YouTube gods, falls under fair use for research and commentary. Okay, fair use, fair use, fair use. It's in the description as well.
I want to be abused, daddy.
This is Lauren LaRosa.
Like some hardcore BDSM action, though. And then she says, I want you to tie me up like this and abuse me, daddy. And you can see when these text messages were released, you can see it says like from Gabby to owner. So it's painting a picture that their relationship was giving that, there was role play, there were things that were happening. Now,
it's a very unfortunate situation.
It's crazy.
Horrible situation.
But let me ask
Shannon
you.
Sharpe and his lawyer have handled this whole situation terribly. First of all, if you're saying Sharpe, you shouldn't be saying anything.
No, he
But
shouldn't.
being this young woman got audio, video, and text messages. If you know all of those things are out.
And your own attorney has admitted to that you almost said you offered her $10 million. Your own attorney has said this, that you offered her $10 million to settle just last month. Thank you so much, C. Evans. I appreciate your, your super chat. C. Evans says, Kempire, you keep us informed. Thank you for your hard work. I wish I could keep you. If I had a bigger team, please understand we'd be able to keep you up to date on everything that I'm aware of. But we've been following this story, so I wanted to give you an update because the tide is turning when it comes to Shannon Sharpe. The tide is turning. So this is what the Breakfast Club had to say about the Shannon Sharpe story this morning.
You should shut the F up and continue to allow your lawyer to do his job. And your lawyer said out of his own mouth that you was close to a $10 million settlement with that girl. That right there is all the more reason to shut the F up. I'm not here to speak to Shannon's guilt or innocence because I don't know, but I do know attempting to settle looks like an admission of guilt because I'm not settling.
Yeah, or you're just scared. Yeah, honestly, you just probably scared.
I'm with you, Charlamagne. I feel like he's being advised wrong, right? And when people go through this, they go to an attorney because the attorney usually knows.
Sidebar: some things with DJ Envy. Yeah, he's not the one I necessarily would take advice from. But okay.
That's for them. They usually know what to do. And in this situation, like any attorney would say, shut the F up and let's deal with it in court. Let's deal with facts because you can't change public opinion unless it's in court with facts. Now, but one thing I would say, if somebody said this, but I cried when you left because I begged you to put a condom on and you put it in my feet and you didn't listen. I don't care what our history is. If that didn't happen, I'm going to be like, what the hell are you talking about? Nah, we agreed on this. I'm not going to be like, I'll call you later because I'm feeling like this is a setup right here.
Absolutely.
As soon as you text me this, I'm going to feel a little, nobody's just going to respond. I'll call you later. You're going to be like, what the hell are you talking about? We both agreed to this.
That also makes me think she's not lying. Sir.
Part of the game, like nobody's gonna respond with that, which scares me. But like Charlamagne said, shut the F up.
Why does that scare you, and DJ NV? Why does that scare you?
Let the facts play out in court because right now all this talking is doing too much
audio
and it's making it worse.
Even audio, and she was like, "You're manipulating me." Like even that would have been like, "Oh no, okay, I see what this is." You know what I'm saying? At least they weren't role playing.
But when you have changed that right from the door, like what are you talking about? Like no, like let's not play this game. Are you taping me? Because last night we was good with this. Like, my opinion,
I would have broke up with her. I'm like, you moving kind of funny, but maybe she moved kind of funny because I don't know if this was a real relationship. I mean, could it even really be a real relationship when she's 19 and you're 50 something years old? Lord have mercy. I'm sorry, y'all. This is my neuro gum. It gives me energy. C. White, thank you. Says, true that gum, Kempire. But seriously, this is so cringe. Unk needs to be quiet and get a new lawyer. the fact that his lawyer admitted, but I guess maybe the lawyer admitted that because he was assuming that Tony Busby was going to come out with that as well. Before I move on to the new audio that just came out, I am going to drop the call and link for our members first. So let me just do that before I forget. So if you want to call in and share your thoughts in regards to this story, I'm dropping the call and link for our members. Let me do this here. Okay, members, I've dropped the call. Let me delete the other one. So I dropped the call and link for members on the post tab here on YouTube for those that want to call in and share their thoughts and opinions on this Shannon Sharpe story. Let me, because there's more, guys. There's a few things that I wanted to talk about.
Use that.
Okay. So that was what the Breakfast Club this morning had to say in regards to the Shannon Sharpe situation. Then, just a few hours ago, new audio came out. Okay? Let me say thank you again. Again, thank you guys so much for the super chats. We appreciate it. Keith, thank you so much for the super chats. Keith says, these rich black men got to learn to settle down and stop living in hypersexuality. So many adversities, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, already. And adversaries, I think you're trying to say, right? Adversaries, so many adversaries already, and they choose to add another one. I mean, there's a larger conversation here. I think a lot of people are sharing their thoughts on how black men that are in these positions could protect themselves. My question is, why do they put themselves in these positions in general? You get what I mean? Why are you willing to have, quote, a relationship? Because I don't believe that this was a relationship. I don't believe that these two were out dating. We didn't see him on any red carpet with this woman. They were dating for 2 years. This wasn't a relationship. This wasn't a relationship. So what was this? And the whole Michelle aspect, for those that remember the leaked audio, when he went on Instagram Live, not knowing, and he was having sex with a woman by the name of Michelle. That's also in her lawsuit. She said that's when she found out he was cheating on her. Here's the thing, though. I wouldn't even call that a situationship either, Miss Hot Mammy. I said this yesterday in my video. I'm going to say it again here. Because she also accuses him of recording her without her knowledge. I wonder if Shannon, being uncle of a man of a particular age, was he trying to record Michelle without her knowing, but instead he went on Instagram Live? Okay. All right. So there's new audio that's come out in regards to the Shannon Sharpe situation. So let me play the new audio for you. Matter of fact, hold on. Yeah, here we go.
Well, you're coming to LA tomorrow?
Yes.
Well,
This is why people question the audio of if it's edited, because there's so many pauses. Do you guys have this many pauses when you're having a conversation, even if it's with your jump off? We haven't used that term in such a long time. Jump off. Maya says it sounds edited because there's so many pauses. And Shannon Sharpe's legal team have said that they believe that the video and audio is edited and they want the full audio. So she's been recording their conversations.
why you want to go out?
Don't worry about it, Daddy.
Well, okay.
Okay, what?
And this is part of the reason why I couldn't date someone this young. What kind of conversations are you guys having? Are you having really in-depth conversations? This is a phone call. I put him like, all right, I'm going to let you go. I can't. Someone says it was a sexual relationship. All right, so what we doing on the phone? I'll see you when I see you.
Well, I'm not really interested in I'm getting choked, so I guess we're going.
So you see that part when she says, I'm not really interested in being choked. How she the thing is, she's been sort of setting him up and he's been falling for it this entire time. This man is not bright. But I mean, if you watch his interviews, you know that already.
Yeah. I might choke you in public.
Again, look, I try to give credit to everyone in regards to this because, again, we don't know if this is an edited audio. For those that are just joining us, we're listening to new audio that has been released in regards to Shannon Sharpe and this woman, Gabriella Zuniga. We're only saying her name because Shannon already put it out there. And now there's photos of her everywhere.
So small white woman.
It's not a good look, Shannon.
Not a good look that you do with the shit you did to me.
Okay,
We're gonna listen to it one time.
You're coming to LA tomorrow?
Yes.
Again, the major pauses makes me wonder if this is edited. But in this day and age, you don't need to do all these pauses to edit audio. I do feel like these two folks that don't probably share a brain cell. Damn. Sorry. That's what it's giving. Like these two less than smart folks on the phone. Yeah. You coming to LA? Yes. Okay. Like, yeah, have you ever dated someone that, or you were talking to someone and they're not good conversationalists? That immediately is a no for me. Immediately a no for me. But that's what it's giving. I'm not saying that 100% that this is not tampered, edited audio. This is what Shannon Sharpe's team is saying it is.
Well, I don't know why you want to go out.
Don't worry about it, Daddy.
Well, okay.
Okay, what?
Well, I'm not really interested in getting choked, so I guess we're going.
Yeah. I might choke you in public.
Here's the thing. He's talking about going out. Have people seen them? Look, there are plenty of places for celebrities to go and not be seen and photographed. That's why I always find it funny when people are seen and photographed, these celebrities, and they try to act like they don't want to be bothered. There's plenty of places. I wonder if they went to like a club or something that's known for like celebrities. I want to know if people have seen them out together.
Big black guy choked small white woman.
It's not a good look, Shannon.
Not a good look that you do with the shit you did to me.
He called her the B word. Even if this was role play, I'd be like, okay, I'm hanging up. I can't. Like,
Okay, well, you're coming to LA tomorrow?
okay. So that's the new audio for those that are just joining us. Ashley, thank you so much for the super chat. There we go. Ashley says Busby should be arrested, jailed, and tried for his abuse of the judicial system. Well, remember with the whole Jay-Z of it all, he did get reprimanded here in New York. He's had some trouble since messing with the whole Jay-Z, coming for Jay-Z. So he has been in trouble, but that hasn't stopped him from suing in other states. Where was this lawsuit filed? Was this filed in California? I can't remember now. But and that's the issue here, because no one here is completely innocent. But there's more, y'all. You thought I was done. No. A woman is now coming out. She was a part of Bad Girls Club. from back in the day. I don't remember her myself. I would have to go back because I used to watch Bad Girls Club. Don't judge me. Before Zeus was Zeus, I used to watch Bad Girls Club. Anyway, she's now slamming Shannon Sharpe because of on his show. Oh, it's in Nevada? Yes, it was in Nevada because that was in my original report. Thank you guys for the reminder. The lawsuit was filed in Nevada. So, Stephanie George, who has a child with Donnell Rollins, the comedian, she's now speaking out because Shannon on his show, when he was interviewing Darnell, he made comments about how the age gap that they had. All right, so let me before we get to that, let me just say thank you because these super chats go quickly here on YouTube. I'm not on my usual platform, but shout out to the members that are backstage. I'm going to bring up some callers in just a second. RC, thank you for the super chat. RC says, it sounds like the pauses are covered, rubbed out dialogue from both of them. That is not in her favor. I agree. I don't think she's innocent here. It's clear she was setting him up, but sometimes to get set up, you also laid the groundwork, and why did you offer her $10 million? Out of their own legal team's mouth, they offered her $10 million, at least $10 million. Risa says, I remember Stephanie, she was on BGC Atlanta. Don't let me go back and watch. I used to love me some Bad Girls Club. I don't like baddies now, though. Tears of Joy, thank you so much for the super chat. Tears of Joy says, I'm a teacher at a high school, and a lot of my students talk like this. So I have to ask leading questions to get them talking. It's irritating. I know, she sounds young. I'm not even judging her that hard, even though you couldn't be my child speaking like that. You better speak with some intelligence, but I also have Jamaican parents, so then there's that. All right, so let me just play this clip for you because she's upset. Stephanie George, because of what, first of all, let me play for you originally what Shannon said. Okay. So she posted this on her social media and I recorded it. So Shannon said this in the interview with Donnell Rawlings.
She 23. Donnell. 20. Why you didn't date her mom? Why you go for the Donnell? Didn't date her mom because why didn't I date her mom? Yeah, good question. No, wait, I'm asking the question. No, because that's in the Donnell Rawlings show. Love is love. If you don't, love is love. I agree with you. What? You like a
He does say, I agree with you. Love is love.
Say Drake, I heard you. No. Don't do that. I don't like them young. I like what I love. I didn't groom nobody, son. It is what it is. But I can't date nobody my age and get what I wanted. What I look like getting a
Pause. Even though Donnell is a comedian, I believe there's some truth to what he's saying. You hear what he said right there?
It is what it is. But I can't date nobody my age and get what I wanted. What I look like getting a 48-year-old bitch pregnant.
Wow. So, the Donnell's baby's mother, ex-Bad Girls Club star, Stephanie George, shared her thoughts on social media.
Really wanted to address something that has really been bothering me for the past couple of months. My son's dad is a comedian and an actor, and he did an interview with a man by the name of Shannon Sharpe on his podcast. Now, on that podcast, Shannon Sharpe did a lot of digging. My son is almost 10 years old, and my son's dad and I broke up over 6 years ago. So for him to ever try to bring me up or a family dynamic or the age gap is very, very shocking to me. It's not surprising, but I just feel like, my son's dad has a girlfriend already. Why not do digging on her? He was making fun of him at the fact that we have an age difference of 23 years. And, he was saying, why didn't you date her mom? Where did you guys meet? Forever 21? Cracking up, just asking really invasive questions. And what really hurt me, this was the kicker, was the interview. And it also had this headline on it that said, Donnell Rawlings has baby really wanted to address something that has really been from Bad Girls Club, 23 years younger. So crazy, insane. As you guys know, we co-parent, so I know that my son's getting older. I always think like, oh my God, one day my son is going to see this. And I just did not like, it felt very, very icky how it was put out there. It felt really exploitive, and like, I just didn't like it. I live my life in peace. I just take care of my son, I work, and I spend time in my garden, and I just do as much as I can to contribute to my own peace. And so I just felt very disrespected at the fact that he labeled me as that. I was just some crazy 23-year-old woman that was on Bad Girls Club. I didn't like it. It sent me into a depression. It kept me up at night. It really, really bothered me. And so I was on Twitter. I prayed about it. I said, God, you know, I'm old enough to know that like there's just certain people that are not nice. There's certain people that are very nosy from Bad Girl that will, you know, they're like, let's do this for shock value so we can get a lot of views. It just turned me all the way off. Now, last night I was on Threads and I saw his name trending. And I thought, wow, that's so weird. And then I clicked on it and I saw Accuser. And, you know, he's being accused of like really horrific things. And the girl was 19 when it started. So I'm thinking in my head, wow, you were really projecting. You went digging and you found the fact that we have a huge age gap, and you highlighted that and you tried to make fun of it, but you were actually really living that life, if not worse. I mean, this girl was a teenager. And, you know, with all the evidence that she put out there, I don't know if it's, you know, good evidence or not, or, you know, whatever. The stuff that I seen was pretty awful. I just feel like if you live in a glass house, please don't throw stones. You are very quick with the lip to ask him details on and why didn't you date? That will, you know, they're like, date her mom. Why didn't you date her mom? Oh, did you guys meet at Forever 21? At least I was 21. You know what I'm saying? Like 19 is too young. You at your big age, you know that. You have kids that are probably older than that. It really hurt my feelings with that headline. And now look at all the headlines that you have. You know, being accused by a 19-year-old. You literally, it's just like, it's crazy how, I wouldn't say karma works, but how the universe works. I knew that there was something not right as to why he was asking these questions. It just felt off. You know, it didn't feel like it was in good faith. And you were poking fun at it and you were living worse. So, hey, her mom.
So that was former Bad Girls Club star Stephanie George talking about Shannon Sharpe's hypocrisy. Tears of Joy, thank you so much for the super chat. Tears of Joy says, sorry, I just have to comment again. You don't have to apologize. And you sent a super chat? Thank you. I would never hang out with any of my students. We have nothing in common. I just don't get it. Shaking my head. Yeah, but it tells you his mentality as well. Shannon Sharpe's mentality. So I'm not completely shocked. So I think that's all I have. Let me refresh some stories just in case something else happened while I was busy. No. All right. So I'm going to get into some callers. If you're part of the replay crew, apologize that you missed this live, but I wanted to go live because I kept on seeing so many different new things come out from the Shannon Sharpe situation. If you missed my 2 previous videos where I talked about the leaked audio from yesterday and Shannon Sharpe's statement from yesterday, I talked about it there. I also did the initial story as well. So if you want a full update on that, be sure to check out our YouTube channel. Those that are not subscribed and watching in the bushes, it's okay. All right, let's get to some callers because I got to wrap this up quickly. All right. The opinions of the callers do not represent the opinions of myself, the Kempire LLC, or our sponsors. If you're still looking for a Mother's Day gift, we still are partnered with Rose Forever. If you want to know why my skin looks this good, check out Butter product, 10% off with my link in the description. And everything else Kempire is available, including if you need a birthday shout out. It is Taurus season, and you could get me to say happy birthday or a happy anniversary. All that's available in the description. Okay. For those that are just joining us, the quick update, new audio came out from a conversation between Shannon Sharpe and this young woman that he was dating. I'm going to put in quotes. And we also found out since my last report that she was offered at least $10 million in the last month in order to settle the situation. This came from Shannon Sharpe's attorney. And what else? was there. There's so much else. Just go rewind and check out everything else. I'm going to get to these callers. Keep liking the video, guys. We have over 1,500 of you here, but not even 400 likes. Liking the video is an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels covering similar topics. Okay? Thank you, guys. Everyone, people on the street stopped me and said they love my Dolly Parton. People love Dolly. We love Dolly. All right, let me get to these callers. Miss Esquire's backstage. Miss Esquire, I have to pick your brain on this. What are your thoughts?
I think I have some interesting thoughts from just a legal perspective.
Please,
that,
no timer on.
Yeah, legally, one, I can't find the civil complaint. Have you actually seen the civil complaint? Because I've looked for it and it's not hyperlinked.
No.
In the New York Times article or any of the major publications, and I can't find it on the Clark County website either in Nevada.
Yeah, I haven't seen it myself either. I haven't seen it. Like you said, I haven't seen it hyperlinked in any of the articles that I've read either.
That's really interesting because Nevada is a notice pleading state. And so what that typically means is that if you are going to file a case, you kind of file a pleading that kind of lays out generally what your claims are just to give the other party notice. And then you have pretty much leave from the court to add to your allegations. So it can sometimes be a very bare bones kind of pleading that you see. But I'm just interested because what's being described is sexual assault, battery, emotional distress, and invasion of privacy. And I just want to see how they're actually laying out the claims, but that's not clear. And then, it's describing 2 alleged sexual assaults, and then one, of course, it seems like non-consensual recording of a consensual sex act, which is interesting. But yeah, it seems that it's filed in Nevada because she lives in Nevada, and the allegations are that at least 2 of the sexual assaults happened at her home in Las Vegas, which I think is interesting.
Uh-oh, your sound dropped out. Did someone try to... Wait, okay, there we go. Someone try to call you, Miss Esquire?
No, I think my phone, I'm just going to have to keep on touching the screen.
Oh.
My phone wants to go into
sleep mode. Okay.
But no, I think it's a very interesting way to file this type of claim. There are no criminal charges that have been filed. So we went straight to a civil complaint.
Which is interesting.
Criminal charges and criminal allegations. That's very interesting to me. And this is very recent. This is September, October, and January of this year.
Yep.
So we're not talking about allegations from 10 years ago where maybe a criminal statute of limitations would have applied. I do wonder why there has been no criminal charges or criminal filing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think morally, I just am Shannon is not very smart. We know he's not very smart. And I think these men just need to start working with sex workers because they don't understand that this is a transactional relationship. And now she's being real transactional. I just see it as you play stupid games and you win stupid prizes. You work with someone who makes a living off of sex work because this young lady apparently has a page on OnlyFans. If she does sex work for a living and you cut that off abruptly, why would you not think that she's going to be even more transactional? It's just very, very stupid. It's very unbecoming. If you want that type of relationship, there are plenty of women out here who will have a very transactional relationship with you that is sexual in nature, feet or BDSM or whatever other, kinks you have without shame, and you can pay for their silence. And that can be a mutually beneficial, consensual relationship. This is not that. And I don't get this. I just don't get what these men have a problem because there are women who...
Oh, we lost you.
Yeah.
There you go.
No, sorry. Do you get what I'm saying, Kempire? There are women out there that will do this for them.
No.
Why are you going to a 19-year-old? There are professionals out here that if you like a certain type of thing, they will do that for you, and you have the money, and you pay them for their silence, and you go about your business. This is about power.
But like you said, he's not that smart.
Well, also, I think he might be sick because this is about power and control. This is not just about the sex act. Because you can get the sex act without all this other mess. Why are you talking to her? Why are we having any conversations other than I'm going to be here this day and this time?
But they were dating, according to her. They were in a relationship for the last 2 years.
That's crazy to me. That is wild to me that you considered yourself to be in a relationship with her, and so did she. Because you talking to her like Future was talking to Gorgeous Doll. Like y'all, you crashing out on her. Why are you crashing out on somebody who's essentially a sex worker for you? It doesn't make sense to me. Why are you talking to her like you upset about anything she has to say? Why? And offering $10 million in pre-settlement negotiations tells me that you know you have a problem. That's not a nuisance offer. That is not a nuisance offer.
Yeah. And remember, they said at least 10 million.
At least 10 million. And I can't believe that Lanny Davis said that. Lanny Davis?
Yes, his attorney.
Is this his new attorney? Lanny Davis wasn't apparently a part of these pre-suit mediation conversations that they had. And I can't believe Lanny Davis let that slip because that was a real big Freudian slip. That's not something you typically know about.
That Lanny Davis sounds familiar. Do we know him from something else?
Yes, you do know Lanny Davis from a lot of other things.
Yeah, that's right.
I want to try to Google some of the cases that Lanny Davis is on, but yeah, you know his name.
I was like, I've been doing this too long. I can't.
You know, you messed around with the lawyers honey there for a while, so you know this man's name.
Yeah.
Let me see what Lanny Davis is kind of famous for. I can't really bring it up right now. But
it's okay. I feel like this is just the beginning of this whole Shannon Sharpe of it all.
Oh yeah, but I mean, if you offer $10 million in pre-settlement mediation, that means that you had some notice of the legitimacy of the claims. You did an analysis and you figured that it was worth it to you to make that kind of offer. That is not a new nuisance offer. A nuisance offer is $250,000, what you would pay in attorney's fees, right? Let me just go ahead and get this. If you offer $10 million plus, that means there's legitimacy to these claims. I'm sorry. So to now say that this is a money grab and this is an attempt to extort you by Tony Busby
and targeting black men,
you talking out of both sides of your neck. You talking out of both sides of your neck. But I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here because I know you have other callers.
Ms. Escar, we always appreciate when you call in. So thank you for giving your legal perspective.
Yeah, I feel like we're gonna be talking about this in 4 round. Wow, friend.
Yeah. Oh, another legal case for us to follow. Lord have mercy. But I like it though. Bye. And when I say I like it, I like the conversation around legality and the nuance when it comes to the law, not specifically, oh, Shannon Sharpe is in trouble. There are so many things in regards to lawsuits and legality that we could talk about. Maybe in another life, I would have become an attorney if I didn't know what attorneys go through and how many attorneys I know that were regret becoming attorneys, but that's a whole other conversation. All right, let me bring up some more calls. Other callers, you will not have the same amount of time that I just gave our legal eagle, Miss Esquire, okay? All right, let's bring up Shy. Is that how you pronounce it, Shy or Shay? Shay Abby, Shy? I can't hear you. Uh-oh. You might have to drop out and then call back in because sometimes that happens. I don't know why StreamYard is doing that lately. All right, drop out and call back in, Shy. For some reason, I can't hear you. Toya, we're going to bring you up next. Toya, are you there?
Yes, hi, Kempire.
Perfect.
I just want to say I don't feel sorry for Shannon Sharpe in the slightest. I mean, why? A 19-year-old? Like, come on. Like, she sounds like a kid. She doesn't even sound, like super mature. And
she doesn't look it either.
Huh?
She doesn't look it either.
Right. But you have to remember, Shannon Sharpe was an NFL player. He was a college star. So he has had his pick of the litter of women. So at what point do you relax yourself and go sit down somewhere? And there's so many women his age, like, Sanaa Lathan, Regina Hall, like older, beautiful, successful women. Why? Even if he wanted a baddie, look at Bernice Burgos. She's in her 40s.
Maybe Bernice they could have a conversation, but the other ones, you think they're going to have a mature conversation with Shannon Sharpe?
Yeah.
You think Shannon Sharpe? No, I'm thinking. No, I'm sorry. Before I let you go, do you think Shannon Sharpe could hold his own in a conversation with those women you mentioned?
Okay, no, but on his show, he's pretty funny.
No, he is. Yeah, but here's the thing: these women that you mentioned, would they want to have? Because it's not just about physicality. It's not just about jokes. It's about there are other deeper things that you want to talk about with your person with. I don't think Shannon's equipped.
But Monique tried to warn him. Yes, she did.
She did.
But I'm curious to see who he pops out with his version of Megan Good to come in.
Oh, you gotta predict something.
You know it's coming.
Oh,
you know it's coming. All right, let me go, Kempire.
Not let you go. Goodbye, Toy. Bye. Let me try Shy again. Shy, are you there? Shay, are you there? We can't hear you. Abby? No? All right, we'll come back. All right, Miss Bernice is backstage. Miss Bernice, what's going on?
What up, though, Kempire? How you doing today?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing fine. You know, Daddy Warbucks was trying to buy Annie.
Oh.
And Annie just didn't want it no more, and now he at where he at. This was a transactional relationship.
Yeah.
If no one else knew he was in a relationship, and they only came out in the public once or twice, and he ain't introduced nobody in his inner circle as this is my girl or anything like that, you're not in a relationship. If I'm only at your beck and call when you in town, I'm not in a relationship with you. It's transactional. Every time I see you, you paying me. That's all it was. And his ego couldn't take it, so you just gonna tell everybody everything you did trying to make her look bad, when in actuality, you looking bad. Simple as that. And he intellectually, he can't handle an intellectual woman because he has to be in control. That's why he go for the younger women.
Makes sense. Miss Bernice, thank you so much for calling in.
Okay, kiddo, bye-bye.
Bye. And you guys can still hear us, right? Because I don't know how long this is going to last either, or my mic. I do want to say thank you, Tamara. Thank you so much for the super chat. Tamara says, give me one deep moment from Shannon. One. Look, don't ask me. I can barely listen. Like his guest has to be interesting enough for me to want to sit through one of his interviews. Just going to say that. All right, Wendy's backstage. We're going to bring Wendy up next. Wendy, what did you want to share?
Hey, I just had a solicitor at the door. I said, I gotta go. Like, no, I'm at work. But anyway, well, I don't feel sorry for him. I really don't. Because this is what happened when you mess with little girls. Number one. This is what happened when you mess with little girls. And I just don't feel sorry for him. And then I, as a 49-year-old woman, could not have a conversation with him either. Because my IQ, his IQ, no, can't do stupid jobs. I can't. And then I remember seeing something on TikTok with him and Ocho Cinco laughing at another guy because the guy, I think he was in resource classes and stuff like that. And I'm like, y'all all are in resource classes to me. Because you all are stupid. And so he's going to get what he's going to get. You keep playing stupid games, you're going to get stupid prizes. You're going to win stupid prizes. So you need to, I really would say, Shannon, Monique, and get with an older woman. That's all.
Thank you so much, Wendy. All right, Judgy Justice is backstage. We're going to bring Judgy Justice up next. Judgy Justice, what did you want to share? We can't hear you, Judgy Justice. I don't know. That's happening a lot lately with StreamYard. I don't know why. Drop out, Judgy Justice. We'll get back to you. Miss Brooklyn Star, back there. Miss Brooklyn Star, are you there? Ooh.
Hey, Kempire.
Hey.
How are you? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi. Okay, so my take on it is it's like these older guys are playing old school games with young, feral, savage young ladies, okay? They think what they used to do back in the day works with these type of young ladies, and it doesn't. There's nothing that they won't do to attain, fame or money and things like that, and that's where they got the game messed up. Shannon has always given me creep vibes when he's on that show with Ocho. I don't like the way he talks about women sexually and things like that. And just like 1 or 2 weeks ago, him and Funny Marco, he was upset about something Marco said. He was just like, oh, I get young cats, and I was so disgusted. I'm just like, that's not a flex. You're too old to be talking like that. I just think that what put a nail on it for me is he's lucky this is not going to a jury because, you know, most likely it's not going to be of his peers. But that race play really took me out because I'm in an interracial relationship and I could never, and I would never. And to see how big he is compared to this very immature young lady, it would not, like, he would be in jail. Like, it's just gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks. It grosses me out.
Thanks, Brooklyn Star.
Okay.
Yeah, that the text messages that they shared in their own statement, I'm like, so she sent you those text messages in your 2-year relationship and you are okay with that? Okay, I mean, all right. Anyway, okay, let's try Judgy Justice again. Judgy Justice, are you there?
I'm here. You hear me now?
Yes.
All right, perfect. So I agree with all the previous callers. I do not feel sorry for Shannon Sharpe. I think it's disgusting. Like, there is other servicers that will do what you like. You talk to them the way you want to do that. Like, you don't have to pursue this type of relationship. And then also, I'm just concerned with what else is wrong with Shannon Sharpe, because if that's like what you do in a 2-year relationship with somebody, I can't imagine what you've done to other people.
Good point. I'm wondering if more is going to come out from other people. Now we can't hear you, Judgy Justice. Judgy Justice. All right. Shannon got your line. Damn. All right. Call back Judgy Justice if you can hear me. Keith is backstage. You're going to bring Keith up. Let me just turn up that timer. Keith, what's going on?
Hey, Kempire.
Hey.
So first of all, this is not a relationship. This was a transactional ship. She was an OnlyFans star, so technically she was a coitus worker, I guess I could say.
Yeah. I thought the same thing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this is a transactional relationship, and my thing is I'm gonna just need these Black successful men to really stop focusing on their hypersexuality and actually try to find someone to settle down with. Because truth be told, there's nothing a 50-plus-year-old man can do for a 19-year-old girl but pay her. And that's exactly what he was doing. Okay, and it's really disgusting because at 19, I couldn't imagine dating someone 50 years. Like, he's older. The age difference between them is older than my mother. And the time she gave birth to me. So I'm trying to think, like, I can imagine dating someone or being in any type of relationship or sex relationship with someone that is 30 plus years older than me. It's quite disgusting, and I just need these Black men to really take heed on the precedents that has happened and actually learn from their mistakes, because there has been so much history of Black men getting into these situations, but year after year after year, they don't learn. That's it.
All right. Thanks, Keith. I will be taking Q&A from the live chat in a second. Once we get to our last caller, I want to say thank you. Hold on. Here we go. Tamara, thank you so much for another super chat. Tamara says, what's messed up about some athletes is that they are so busy training for their sport and not their minds. So they were so busy training for their sport, and not for their minds. Wow. Judgy Justice, thank you so much for being a member for 39 months. Wow. And a senior royal. Judge Justice Kempire, Lanny Davis represent. That's who it was. Bill Clinton, pre-scandal. Jerry Sandusky in the essay case at Penn. And Michael Cohen. I know that name sounded familiar to me. Thank you for doing that Google schmoogle for us, Judgy Justice. Wow. So that's who Shannon Sharpe has enlisted. And that's the same guy that also revealed to us that before he was representing Shannon, that Shannon was in pre-settlement conversations with his ex-girlfriend and offered her at least $10 million. Know the Queen, we're going to bring you up as our last caller. Know the Queen, what did you want to share? Now I can hear Know the Queen. Know the Queen, are you there? Are you there, Know the Queen? Nope, can't hear you, Know the Queen. Maybe drop out and call back in. Well, Know the Queen does that. Guys, if you remember, I did drop the call-in link for last minute callers. If you have a question or comment that you want me to read out loud, feel free to share in the chat. We'll take a couple of questions, but I got to get out of here before 6 o'clock. Agreed, 100%. Allison says S work. Wait. Sex is work. And wait, I think you meant S work is work. Just because she does S work doesn't mean she deserves to be assaulted. 100%. 100%. All right, let's try Know the Queen again. Know the Queen, what did you want to share? Know the Queen? I hear. Here we go. Uh-oh, you can't hear me though. Know the Queen. I can hear you, but you can't hear me. Let's try this again. Know the Queen, are you there? Nope, can't hear you. Can't hear you, Know the Queen. I don't know. I don't know what it could be. Could be headphones, something like that. Not sure. But yeah. All right. Let me see what you guys are saying. Cammy, thank you so much for the super chat. Cammy says ESPN is owned by Disney. Maybe their last straw. Yeah, because we have to remember Shannon Sharpe doesn't just have his podcast. He has other things like appearing on ESPN. And I wonder if this alleged podcast deal is going to really happen. I wonder. Let me try. Know the Queen, are you there? Know the Queen? Know the Queen? Can't hear you. All right. We've tried. Let me just answer some of the questions that are here in the chat. Chat, put a Q before your question. We'll answer a couple of questions, and then I'm going to get out of here. For those that are just joining us, rewind the tape if you want a full update on this Shannon Sharpe situation. Is Shannon a Cancer? Lord have mercy. Look, Lord have mercy. Miss Esquire, thank you so much for being a member for 39 months as well. Oh, I know you. Wait. I said this was Judge Justice. No, it was Miss Esquire. Thank you so much for the for being a member for that long and letting me know. Lanny Davis represented Bill Clinton pre-scandal, Jerry Sandusky in the SA case at Penn, and Michael Cohen. Sorry, I mixed you guys up. He is a Cancer. Case closed, Your Honor. I'm being facetious, but am I? Am I? Case closed. Let me see what the questions are. Oh my gosh, Mr. Melon Magic says, this is actually a good question, even though I think you're being messy. He says, has any white man ever approached you in a fetish way, and what would you do if it happened now? Yes, that has happened. I ignore if I can. Questions, why didn't he get an NDA? Just because you sign an NDA doesn't mean you're covered. That's one of the biggest lessons I think people are learning today, is the fact that NDAs do not protect people from crimes. And she's accusing him of a crime. But that's also, like Miss Esquire said, we're interested to find out that she didn't file criminal charges against him, especially when she's accusing him of doing that back in January of this year. So NDAs do not protect you from crimes. Big Miss Muffin says, had Shannon Sharpe had someone set these exchanges up with randoms, he hadn't been in the situation, just saying. I get what you guys are saying in regards to how he could have played this better. But the bigger issue, I think, is why is he even, it's okay to have your fetishes and things like that, but what we're seeing here, it's like, why would you put yourself in this position? Why would you want to be with someone like this? Why would you be having conversations like this? Why would you do what she's accusing you of allegedly doing? Okay, let me see. Didn't she graduate during the pandemic? Who graduated during the pandemic? Oh, this woman? I don't know. I mean, she was 19 2 years ago. Do you think he is? Oh, damn, Keith. I don't know about that. What state did you record him in? Wondering about the recording laws. She's in Nevada. I don't know. That is a good question. I wonder what the rules are for Nevada, because it varies from state to state. So that would be interesting to know. Do we know the rules for recording someone in the state of Nevada? Hey, Line, I love your name, Line Dance Queen. And you've been a member a long time. Line Dance Queen, did you change your name? Because I don't recognize this name. Yes, Kempire, one brain cell between the two. Sharpe is less than smart. Ain't black women's fight at all. That's one of the resounding comments that I've seen in regards to the story. I've definitely seen that. I'm sure the authorities are looking into it. Because that's the thing, too. The lawyers in the chat, couldn't the authorities also file their own charges based off, even though she hasn't brought it to them? Couldn't they file their own charges based off the accusations? Mrs. Cree says, I think he was willing to pay that $10 million not because he was guilty. He just wanted her to go away because of the $100 million deal. A $100 million deal is not money in the bank, though. I don't know how much. Look, how much is he worth? Even though this is not a guarantee of how much he actually has in the bank, but it gives me an idea in regards to, because remember, he was in the NFL. What is his net worth? Someone says, where is it? Where is it? Oh, here we are. He's not worth it. No, for him to all, I mean, based off of net worth, celebrity net worth, again, it's never 100%. Says he's worth 30 million, but usually this kind of gives me like his salary, they said, is 10 million. So why would you offer her 10 million? Why would you offer her 10 million and your salary is 10 million? That's a lot of money to offer someone for someone that doesn't. Exactly. He says 10 million isn't chump change. If he's just giving that out, I'm right over here. You know what? Wait, Noble says, isn't he paired with the stylist? Is she a beard? I mean, that's been the rumor for a very long time that he was closeted. I mean, if any of these accusations are true that this woman is claiming, there is conversation to be had on why certain men do what they do, and they do it a lot of times because they are closeted. Maya says 10 million to keep the 90 million. But remember, that podcast deal isn't guaranteed money. I mean, we don't know the contract, but that's not guaranteed money because they have morality clauses. And if he actually did what she's claiming that he did, usually she's not the only one. Not to say that he did, because I'm not saying that he's guilty. Let them figure this out. But just saying. Auntie Eva says, rumor is that the contract is canceled. If with all that's happening right now, that contract is definitely on pause. Please understand. That definitely is on pause. He says, do you believe that that most black people that date out of their race is in the closet? Wait. Do you believe that most black people that date out of their race is in the closet? It seems to be a running narrative. I don't know if I believe that. Give me another example besides Shannon Sharpe that date outside of their race is in the closet. No, I don't know if I believe that. I don't believe that. I've never even heard that before. Doesn't he have a case in New York for... I don't think so, but it's hard for me to keep up on all the stories that are happening in regards to this and accusations from the past. Oh, Jonathan Majors? I mean, people probably have said that about Jonathan Majors. Not probably, they have said that about Jonathan Majors. Jonathan Majors allegedly has a history of being abusive towards women. Noda Queen, thank you so much for the super chat. Noda Queen says, since StreamYard fought me today, sorry, Noda Queen, he should have been more cautious playing with consent and power dynamics in a post-Me Too era. Shannon set himself up. I can see that. I can say that, but maybe he needs help. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get out of here because I'm sure my mic is going to go dead in a hot second. But if you're part of the replay crew, don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to share the video. We have over 1,300 of you here, and we don't even have 600 likes. Keep liking the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel. We just broke down for you guys a lot of what's been playing out when it comes to this Shannon Sharpe stuff. New audio has come out. We found out that from Shannon's own new attorney, Lanny Davis, that he offered... Shannon offered this young woman $10 million, at least $10 million. Tamara, thank you so much for another super chat. Tamara says his story is on Law and Crime right now. This is bad. On YouTube. Lord have mercy. I mean, at first I was sort of like, oh, you know, especially tying Tony Busby to the case. I was like, oh Lord, this is gonna be, and this is not going to end well for Tony Busby. But right now, it's not turning well for Shannon, especially hearing that he offered her $10 million. Okay. He's done on ESPN, which is owned by Disney. And isn't that where he gets a lot of his money? I mean, he makes quite a lot on YouTube and his podcast, but his big paycheck is with ESPN. That's his $10 million salary. Thank you, PSM. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for 600 likes. I appreciate you guys. He may survive on YouTube. I mean, there are plenty of people on YouTube that probably should not be on YouTube, but yes, you're right. He will survive on YouTube. Okay. And I gotta change the words I use, but there are problematic people on YouTube. But it's okay. It's all right. I will do what I need to do in order to do what I need to do to stay here. Okay. The episodes of Club Shay Shay are about to be super ratchet. Oh Lord. Oh, wait a minute. I don't really know a lot about his dating history. Ebony says Shannon humiliated his last girlfriend, Katie Kilner, when he was going on Undisputed every day at one point and going crazy over Nicole Murphy. Oh, y'all, because you know I don't follow the sports, okay? But I now got to get caught up on the sports tea. But you know I will get caught up real quick. Keep it coming. For those that are watching the replay, keep it coming in regards to the sports tea that I need to know on Shannon Sharpe's history. Did he love him some Nicole Murphy? The same Nicole Murphy that lost her millions of dollars from her divorce settlement from Eddie Murphy? And then she was all up on Lila Rashawn's husband, who Lila Rashawn is still with. I do gotta look, I know a little bit. I know the outside of the sports tea that's connected to the celebrity tea. That Nicole Murphy? Oh, he loved her. I bet he did. I mean, that would have been more age appropriate, though. But okay. And I'm not shaming people that date younger. It is what it is. But okay. I told y'all these young boys be hitting up on me. I'm like, I know I look good because of the butter skincare, but I am grown. I am grown. Again, speaking of butter, be sure to check out the description for 10% off. And Mother's Day is right around the corner, guys. So be sure to check out the description for how you can get $20 off of your Mother's Day bouquet. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Okay. Everyone have a great day. So I says, put your shawl on when they approach you, Kempire. I'm a shawl. All right. All right, y'all. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Have a good evening. Let me go meditate and get this Shannon juices. Ew! Off of me. Ew. Goodbye. Bye, y'all. Had to say it. Sorry, y'all. Had to. Not the gravy. Goodbye.